EternalBlue. EternalBlue is a Windows exploit created by the NSA as a cyberattack tool. And we all know how the NSA has never misused its power against innocent civilians, thanks Snowden. While we are all under surveillance by government organizations, if this were ever to be released to the public, things could get messy. That was just the beginning.
The WannaCry cyberattack.
WannaCry virus.
The United States is publicly attributing the massive WannaCry cyberattack.
WannaCry was a type of ransomware that ran rapid back in 2017. It used the EternalBlue exploit to spread from system to system, and it attributed to $4 billion of losses globally. Pretty much it was like, LOL, firewall? Nope. You, being a highly intelligent individual, must be wondering how you can utilize EternalBlue even in modern day. Well, let me show you how to use it. First, we're going to start by just running a simple Nmap scan on this server. It's going to allow us to find any open ports and just anything interesting that we might be able to utilize. It'll also let us know if the common EternalBlue necessary ports are available. We're just also going to open up MFS console on the side over here because it takes a little while to start. We're loading. Alright, so there's the Nmap scan, just came back. And it does look like these ports are open, which is a good indicator that SMB is enabled, and this box could be vulnerable to the EternalBlue exploit. So now we're just going to try to find a simple script for the exploit in the MSF console, and here we go. This is the scanner actually, so let's run the scanner first, and then we can just verify if this machine is indeed vulnerable. So there we go, and now we're just gonna show our options. Type in the IP. Whoops. Grab it from there. Alright. Does look like we're indeed vulnerable. So now we're going to actually go to the exploit itself and try to get some remote code execution and possibly drop a shell. Just got to configure the settings again. We just set the IP as the remote host. Now we're going to also have to set our local host port to listen on. And that's because we're currently over a VPN using this tunnel interface. Just so we know how to listen for a response, I guess you could say. We're also going to try to modify the payload because typically it just drops you in a very basic, simple shell. We're going to try to go for a full interpreter shell. It gives you a lot more functionality like hash dumping, which we'll do later on as well. Where is it? Just go into interpreter and then reverse TCP. Perfect. Double checking our options, and we're off. Occasionally the first attempt does fail. There's slight variations in how it tries to run the script to exploit whatever box you're targeting, so it just takes a little bit. It's a little bit of a waiting game, but we'll see how it goes. This doesn't always work too. Occasionally it will cause the target machine to crash, and that is not ideal, of course, because if it crashes, most likely we're not going to get in. It's a big indicator that someone tried to get in. But thankfully, and also because this is for educational purposes only, this is actually running against a TryHackMe room right now, so we're not doing anything wrong on our end. So the first attempt failed too, as we can see, but it's still going to go on to the second attempt. Slight variation in the way it tries to exploit. There we go. So now we actually have a interpreter shell on their system. Can't run the Linux command yet. Let's drop into a shell. Who am I? And we're actually at system already. So that's pretty sweet. Just listing the default system directory, I guess you could say, for Windows. Let's go back. Gonna background the shell, and now we're just gonna dump the hashes. Alright, so now we can see the 3 user accounts right here. JON, we got this hash for this user that someone added to the box, and we also get the administrator account as well, so there's some potential in cracking those. Let's just go over here to our other terminal. We'll change directories into the desktop. Perfect. And now we'll probably just nano into a text file, store the hashes, and see if we can get them to be cracked. Perfect. Alright, so let's actually copy the rocku word list from the user share word list directory. There we go. And we'll probably just put that on our desktop for the sake of having it over there. It's also compressed, so we'll just gunzip and then rocku.txt.gz. Perfect. So now it's extracted. Alright, so now we're going to try to run John the Ripper on the word list, and with the word list and on the hash file, and it actually found it pretty much immediately. Perfect. So we now have the password for the John user as well. JON, however you want to say it. Just as a quick recap, we just completely rooted the box, and we also got the password for the JON user. Isn't it so great running Windows? Now even foreign governments can spy on you, or a script kiddie.